Welcome, everybody. My name is Rebecca Hilmer. I am the Vice Chair of the Dallas County Conservation Board. Want to welcome you to the festivities today and extend a special welcome to state, county, and local officials that are here, our biking affiliate groups, donors, trail users, and the Dallas County Conservation Board staff. You know, we couldn't have done this project without each and every one of you helping. I'm kind of a numbers person, so just want to share some fun facts. We have been talking for years about this 9-mile extension, but we've exaggerated a little. It's only 8.97. So we started fundraising back in December of 2014. We started construction on phase 1 in summer of 2018. It took over 54,000 square yards of concrete to pour this. If you can imagine 900 trucks running up and down the roads, that's what it took. We purchased 104 acres of right-of-way to build this trail. Total construction cost was $5.8 million. And when you talk in terms about how kind of a round number figure for a new mile of construction is $1 million, we got a pretty good bargain out of this. So total amount of grants from state, federal, and local we received was $4 million worth, and we had $1.5 million in private donations. So thank you, each and every one of you. So we do have several speakers here today and kind of have a program. So the first one I'd like to invite up is Kurt Cable. Kurt is the new director of the Dallas County Conservation Board. He was hired in 2016 as the Trails Manager, promoted to Deputy Director in 2020, and promoted once again to Director on August 1st. Kurt, would you like to start us off?
Hello. Thank you for all coming out today. What a crowd. This is awesome. So obviously we couldn't do this without Bouton, the city of Bouton. All the officials here. We got the Mayor Minor, we got Jim Youthy, Carolyn Kinkinnon, Sarah Gittens, and the Volunteer Fire Department directing traffic. Rick Thielen for letting us use his lot over there for parking and the food trucks. So yeah, this is great. And if you heard me, I said Bouton. I know many of you, I've heard Bouton. Bouton. So if you haven't seen the koozie yet, you're probably like, well, that doesn't make any sense. We're Bouton in the middle. So yeah. All right. I'm just gonna give a few thanks for everybody that got this out, got this going. Lindsay with the Perry Chamber of Commerce, Brooke Ruddy with the Raccoon Valley Bank for helping sponsor the VIP lunch that was catered by Tin Pig. Pat Steele and the members of the RRVTA for having the bike ride this morning. Luke Hoffman, Iowa Bicycle Coalition, for leading that charge. We got the Dallas County Conservation Board employees for helping make the trails look good and helping get everything set up yesterday and today. And finally, my lovely wife for taking pictures today. So, thank you.
Thank you, Kurt. Next up, oh, you're taller than me. Next up is Luke Hoffman, which just got the biggest round of applause. So he is the executive director of the Iowa Bicycle Coalition. The coalition is a statewide nonprofit organization working to make Iowa safer, more accessible, and enjoyable for everyone on or off a bike by advocating, educating, and building community. Can you share a few words with us, Luke?
Let's hear it for the city of Bouton. Let's hear it for Iowa Natural Heritage Foundation. Let's hear it for Dallas County Conservation. Let's hear it for Rails to Trails Conservancy and all the other partners who have come together to make this possible. I really appreciate the leadership of Kurt, the leadership of Mike Wallace, and the leadership of Lisa Hine and Andrea Bolton. My role here is just to be a cheerleader. I'm here to help raise awareness. And as the Iowa Bicycle Coalition, we are just the biggest fan of what all these partners have done, and all too often the work that they do day in and day out over the last 40 years to make this trail possible can go unnoticed. And what I like to say about this trail is that it's greater than the sum of its parts. It's more than just 8.7 miles of concrete. It's about the people and the places along the way. It's about the stories that you're going to tell for the next century with this trail. And I firmly believe that 100 years from now, this trail will be here creating those stories. And that's what this is all about. A legacy for future generations and quality of life for all Iowans. Thank you.
So how much are you paying people to be able to do it? So next up is Ken Bryan. He is with the Rails to Trails Conservancy. He is a senior strategist for external relations and has held several positions during his 32 years with Rails to Trails. He is currently focused on policy and trail development activities. Ken is also part of the team working on the Great American Rail Trail and will support the key work of our local partners along the 3,700-mile route. Come on up, Ken.
Who wants to follow Luke, right? I mean, I didn't know that was coming. So yeah, I appreciate you all including me in on this. What a great day, and what a great trail. You're part. I just also want to make you know that you're part of something bigger. Not only are you part of connecting trails here locally, you're creating a connection across the state of Iowa. You're also creating a connection across the United States. 3,700 miles from Washington State to Washington, D.C. goes right through here. You are now part of the Great American Rail Trail. So thank you for being part of that. I was here 3 weeks ago for Ragbri, and I emptied out my wallet then, and I'm here this time. I'm going to empty out my wallet now, and I'll be back in October, and I'll empty out my wallet again. And hopefully you can tell by the size of this crowd that this trail is going to have an economic impact here in Bouton. Did I say that right? And so with that, let's enjoy this great day and enjoy each other's company. And thank you for all your hard work. We wouldn't be here without all your hard work. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Next up is Rich Volker. I'd like to introduce Rich. He is Sorry about that. So Rich is with Snyder & Associates, the engineering firm that designed this connection. Rich also led the creation of the High Trestle Trail, the Raccoon River Valley Trail North Loop, and countless other trails in Iowa to total over 600 miles of paved trails and over 150 trail bridges spanning his 30-year career. So he's been busy. Come on up, Rich.
Well, thank you very much. This is a great day for me. We've done a lot of trail work in the state and out of the state. This one is special. Once we finished the High Trestle Trail, we actually finished in 2010, had the grand opening in 2011. And then shortly thereafter, we had the 35-mile extension of the Raccoon River Valley Trail that had the grand opening in 2013. And it wasn't, I think it was the Raccoon River Valley Association banquet later that year where Kevin Cooney, and I don't know if he was the first one who did it, but he got up and gave a talk and talked about the 9 little miles separating the two trails. And you'd think that wouldn't be as big a deal with the 25 miles of the High Trestle and the 35 miles of the Raccoon, that we can get 9 miles done. But when we started this project, there was no route. We started in 2014. And we drew maps of all the potential ways that we could try to get this trail connected. And one of the things that probably isn't going to get said enough here, but one of the heroes of this project are the property owners that we worked with. So I'd like to see a round of applause for the property owners. Because in Iowa, we don't have the ability to use eminent domain for trails. So that makes it really difficult to get down to brass tacks, discuss money, and get the right-of-way acquired just to have a place to put the trail. Not to mention gain the funding that it takes to build the 9 miles. That $5.8 million, you hear numbers like that thrown around on other projects like it's not much money. For us, it took a long time to get there. Started fundraising, like I said, in 2014. And it took us till 2018 to get enough funds and right of way to be able to build the first piece. 7 phases later, and we're finally here today in 2024. So long time coming, but this is a fantastic extension of the High Trestle Trail. And if you ever get a chance to see what this project does, is with the north loop of the Raccoon, we are able to complete one loop of all rail trail, 72 miles all the way around. Now this trail makes 2 more loops that are longer. I don't remember exactly how long. It's like 100 and some. But there's a lot of states out there that like to brag about the length of their trails. And if you look at our map now, it's an infinity symbol. Thank you.
Okay, get down and out of the stratosphere, down to my level here. So Rich mentioned Iowa Natural Heritage Foundation. They really have been a fantastic partner for some of that land acquisition. So we have Lisa Hine here, as Senior Director for Conservation Programs with Iowa Natural Heritage Foundation. She has been with INHF since 1988. She has worked with dozens of communities, agencies, volunteer groups, and landowners all over Iowa to establish trails, protect land, and implement conservation projects. INHF has helped protect over 198,000 acres of conservation land, including nearly 900 miles of trails, mostly of which are on discontinued railroad corridors. Lisa?
I gotta take your picture. Hi, everybody. Thank you. What a magical day. Was anybody here for the opening of the High Trestle Trail? Do you remember it was kind of cloudy like this and then the sun came out? It was just gorgeous. Same thing here. It's magical. Thank you all for being here. I think of this project kind of like an oak tree. So the acorn of an idea is planted in the ground and it starts to spread roots and maybe send up a bit of a sprout. Well, those roots are like Iowa Natural Heritage Foundation. You're not going to see our name necessarily plastered all over the parks and trails that we do, but we're there being the roots for those projects. The stem comes up, the branches come out, you've got your public agencies, your county conservation boards, your cities. They're forming the foundation of this tree. Then maybe we'll get a little nutrition and nutrients and water from grants from State Rec Trails Program, from REAP, all the donors that are helping this tree grow. And now we're growing, putting on leaves. We've got all of you out here. You're the leaves of this tree, pulling in the sunshine, making it healthy. And then bees and birds and other habitat. Those are the businesses that are benefiting from the habitat created by this oak tree. So I want to just thank all of those partners. It's taken all of us. We're all a piece of this tree. And we've got to thank the counties, County Conservation Board, Mike, you've done an amazing job pulling this project together. I want to give recognition to Andrea and Ross Baxter, who couldn't be in here today. He was working on the ground, working with landowners. I also want to give credit to Mark Ackleston, who's here. He was involved in the first rail trails in Iowa. There you are. Yeah. If you want to thank anybody for rail trails in Iowa, it's Mark and our board of directors who were really there to make sure that we weren't shut down because of our work in trails. Thank you to the state of Iowa, to the legislators for putting more money in the State Rec Trails Fund this year. That is going to help maybe water some trail acorns that are out there waiting to sprout. Thank you to the landowners. Thank you to Raccoon River Valley Trail Association. You guys are amazing. You're there really helping promote the Raccoon River Valley Trail and now the whole system. So anyway, thank you all. Really appreciate you being here. And thanks for your support and putting this together.
Somebody shorter than me, haha. So thank you, Lisa. So our special guest speaker for the day is Chuck Offenberger. who is a veteran Iowa reporter and writer who, in 26 years with the Des Moines Register, I'm old enough to know it was the Register and the Tribune, and 25 later years of freelancing, has watched, covered, helped to develop, and advocated for the recreational trails networks of Iowa. In his time with the Register, he served 16 years as co-host of RAGBRAI with the late John Karras. And in 1995, he led 300 people, mostly from Iowa, on a 5,048-mile-long Iowa 150 bike ride / a sesquicentennial expedition across the United States in celebration of Iowa's 150 years of statehood. He was among the riders who rode on the opening day of the RRBT Trail on October 7th, 1989, our 35th year. And he's been especially involved in RRBT promotion ever since. He now lives in Jefferson and Des Moines. To go there for the summer because it's further north, or and continues writing columns on both the Substack platform and the website www.offenberger.com. Let's hear it for Chuck.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. It's great to see this crowd here in Bouton. I've been a part of the bicycling scene, as she just said, for a long, long time in Iowa, going back to, was 83 RAGBRAI when I first got involved. Bought a bike 2 weeks before that 83 RAGBRAI. So didn't come in with a lot of experience, but a lot of enthusiasm. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The best thing that's happened in this state, in those 41 years of mine on the bicycle scene, the best thing that's happened in this state overall, in my view, is the creation of the recreational trails network all across this state. I rank it right up there with the proliferation of the internet, which has changed our economics, changed our marketing all over the world. I put it up there. I have always said, too, the founding of those young professionals organizations all over Iowa. We've developed a whole cadre of new leaders that are coming along in this state. And, of course, we have to include over those 41 years another great thing for Iowa, the birth of Caitlin Clark. Today is a special day in all those years of bicycling in Iowa, and specifically for the Raccoon River Valley Trail and the High Trestle Trail. Officially open and dedicate this connector trail that links these two outstanding trails in this area is really a monumental day for cycling all over this state. As Lisa said, it creates two new huge loops that are available that will serve the whole Des Moines metro area, as well as all of central Iowa, and really the whole state and beyond. What we have here now in our trails network, with the completion of this last link, I think is when it really happens. We have among the best trails in this country, and it's really become a national attraction among people who are interested not only in bicycling, but just getting out and walking trails or skating trails or skiing trails. It's amazing what we've got here. I've seen this coming, and I've been a part of it. As the MC said, I rode the Raccoon River Valley Trail on opening day in the fall, on a Saturday in early October of 1989. Amazing to think about. Amazing to think about that I was on that initial ride on the Raccoon River Valley Trail in October of '89. I remember being on the High Trestle Trail just after it was completed, when Governor Terry Branstad was out there to cut a ribbon to start that off too. I remember, Rich, on that June 1st of 2013, I believe it was, when we dedicated the North Loop. I think I was the MC that day. And then in early August of 2014, I got a chance to ride the High Trestle Trail with Senator Tom Harkin. It was all completed, but it was Senator Harkin's first look at this trail, which he created with a $5 million grant from Congress a few years earlier. And it was amazing to see the senator see this for the first time and ride his bicycle on it. I'll never forget, he said, He said, I just got my plans for my retirement. I'm getting a bicycle and explore all the trails in Iowa. And now here we are today, celebrating another great, significant day for Iowa's recreational trails. I also want to thank a few people. I want to thank the railroads for 150 years ago building these routes. So many of them are trails today. That not only, they were the connectors of our early communities and connecting our people. They enabled transportation from town to town and commerce from town to town. And you think back about that, that's really significant. But then I want to thank the organizations we've heard about today, the Iowa Natural Heritage Foundation, the Rails to Trails Conservancy, and so many others that have been involved and had the vision to see what was possible as the railroad industry began to decline. If you think about if we had made no use of this, the rail corridors, we would really be in trouble today economically in this state. I think it's also really important to acknowledge, as Rich Volker said, the landowners along the trails, especially places where land has reverted from earlier rail history and land reverted. And those property owners, for the most part, have been cooperative. It's taken a lot of conversations, but they've been cooperative in planning these trails and realizing what a tremendous asset they'll have adjacent to their properties when these trails are completed. I want to thank especially the county conservation boards, not just the Dallas County one, which is one of the best in the state, as most of you know, but it really is with great help from the agencies like the Iowa Natural Heritage Foundation and the old Iowa Rail Trails Council and other organizations. But it was the conservation boards that stepped up to take over the management of these trails going forward. And what great allies they have been for us who like biking and like recreational trails. So thanks to all the conservation boards across the state. These, you think about it, they've given us the recreational experience we have. They've also given us a great health benefit, to be able to get out and exercise. And I think of that often as every time I pull out my cell phone when I'm sitting in a car. It's become so damn dangerous to ride a bicycle now because we all on our phones all the time. That trail development happened right at the right time for us to be more safe when we're out there riding. And then finally, the economic development tool that this has given us in terms of being able to draw people from across the nation and around the world here to experience our trail system. And I think this is important to remember, especially as we talk about these trails being built on so many former railroad corridors. Here's a fact. Today, more people are coming to our small towns across Iowa on bicycles on recreational trails than ever came here on the trains. Like 20,000 per month through the summer and the fall on the High Trestle Trail. And 300,000 a year on the Raccoon River Valley Trail. Those are staggering figures that give you all kinds of potential. Talking to you, Bouton. Here it comes. This town of fewer than 200 residents, which already must be one of the best looking towns of under 200 in this state. There's already been transformation here when you look at these new community buildings that are here and you see the spirit in this town. I've just always had the feeling that Bouton eventually was going to become a great trail town where a whole lot of us are going to be spending a whole hell of a lot of time and money. I mean, when you got a town that for 90 years had an annual sauerkraut festival, you just figure you got a town that's got a sense of fun and spirit that's going to be a great trail town. And then they've had these legendary, if you've not been here, you got to get here 5 times a year now, I'm told. They have the legendary Bouton breakfasts on Saturday mornings. And it's amazing the food that they produce here. And you think 5 times a year doing that, and you look at this crowd here today, and you who know trails and know cycling, think a little bit. You can probably imagine that Bouton breakfast might become much more frequent in times ahead. And if I lived anywhere in this area, I'd be putting an ice cream stand in here somewhere. People are coming, Bouton. People of all ages. People coming from all over everywhere. People who'll spend more money than you can imagine here. They're coming. And 40 years of recreational trails history is the proof of that. 40 years of recreational trails history in Iowa proves that over and over. The Bouton has a future again. Thank you. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to still be advocating for recreational trails across this state.
Thank you, Chuck. Just a couple more things here. Keith, Mike Wallace, Nancy, would you come to the front, please? So, this was a lot of work getting this connector done. It was a fantastic idea, and you've heard from a lot of the groups that were involved. But there always has to be one person that kind of is the central point of coordination and line everything up. Well, that person is Mike Wallace. Mike is the former director of Dallas County Conservation Board. Mike recently retired at the end of July. He served as a Dallas County Board Director for 23 years. He's played a crucial role in the development of the Raccoon River Valley Trail, as well as the 9-mile extension of the High Trestle Trail. In honor of Mike's dedication to trails, we will be installing 2 of these plaques on the new bridge crossing, which goes over Little Beaver Creek, and naming the bridge in his honor. Come on up and say a few words, Mike.
Thank you so much for that tremendous honor. Yeah, I'm retired now. I took this trail as far as I could go, and Kurt, I passed off all the maintenance on to you. So, but we got a good department, and I'm positive they'll continue doing great stuff, not only with trails, but the Dallas County Conservation Board has been a leader in wildlife habitat, wetlands, prairies, environmental education. And what you see so many times are the trails that Dallas County works on and builds. And again, it's due to a fantastic, over the years that I've been here, fantastic board, Dallas County Conservation Board, and staff. So let's give a round of applause for that group too. So the bridge that I think the plaques can go on is just a mile away. There's no way we could get the logistics to have everybody there, but someday that'll be on there. And as you go by, just make sure that, not too many nasty words are spray painted on that for me, and I would appreciate that. But no, this was looking back, this was a tremendous project. It took a long time to get here. It's a lot easier when you can buy 35 miles, 20 miles, you name it, from a railroad company, and then build a trail on an existing railroad right away. As you heard earlier, this was a little bit different. The land had already been reverted back to private landowners, and so that just took it to the next level as far as how long it was going to take. But I know that I can speak on behalf of the board that we're very happy and proud that we have completed this project. It connects two of the major trails in the state of Iowa, the Rack and River Valley Trail and the High Trestle Trail. And as Rich mentioned, create some additional loops within the central Iowa region. And speaking of Rich Volker with Snyder and Associates and his colleague engineer Tyler Jensen, they've been, especially Rich, has been with us from day one on this. And Rich is like a brother to me. Can't count the number of times I've called and talked with him, and quite frankly, just vented to him. So he was very patient with everybody and provided some good guidance. And I guess the other thing, as I mentioned earlier this morning in Perry, when we did the fundraising board, this wasn't done by grants alone. It wasn't done by the corporate donations. Yeah, that's some big money, but there was a lot of small donations from a lot of people. Many of you are here today. And here again, this goes out to you to thank you very much for your support and donations for this project. And we really, really appreciate it. Thank you. I shouldn't have mentioned his name.
Yeah, since you said something nice about me, now I got to say something nice about you. One key ingredient of every successful trail project is it takes the unstoppable force. Someone has to be that. It can't be the engineering firm. It can't be the funding authorities or anything like that. And on this project, the unstoppable force was Mike Wallace. He is the one who wrote all the grants and how many grants were there? There were way too many grants. And starting off, we couldn't get any funding. They wouldn't even pick us to get this thing built. So through his tenacity of keeping after things and always being good with the property owners, that's what got this thing to happen. So kudos to Mike for being the unstoppable force.
One more speaker, but I need to apologize. I didn't introduce Keith Troster and Nancy DeLong. They are fellow members on the Dallas County Conservation Board. And mention was just made about the fundraising plaque. I've heard a couple of questions from several of you, and there will be specific fundraising plaques located towards the connector project that will be located in Perry, Bouton, and Woodward. Just couldn't get them printed, and we were hoping maybe somebody'd step up today with another $10,000 and get their name on the sign. So if you still want, there's still time. So our last speaker is Mark Hansen with the Dallas County Board of Supervisors. Mark is in his 20th year as a member of the board. He was at the ribbon cutting for the High Trestle Trail and read a proclamation from the Board of Supervisors in Perry when the North Loop of the RRBT was dedicated. Mark has been a recreational biker for many years and can say he has completed a full RAGBRAI. He's going to make the trail official.
First of all, welcome to Dallas County, Iowa. Is Dallas County, Iowa, one of the greatest counties in all of the state? And you're all here to join with me. So enough has been said about Mike and Rich, but both of them have been an honor to work with you both on this project. This is the proclamation that was passed by the Dallas County Board of Supervisors. It's a resolution 2024-0093. Whereas the County of Dallas has been a supporter of the High Trestle Trail since it was opened in 2011, and whereas throughout the years, as the High Trestle Trail has expanded, it has enhanced the quality of life, provided economic development opportunities, provided recreational opportunities, and preserved wildlife habitat. And whereas, with the completion of the 9-mile extension of the High Trestle Trail, the total miles of trail is now 34 miles, which creates multiple loop trails in central Iowa. And whereas on today, August 17th, 2024, at 1 p.m. in Bouton, Iowa, there will be a grand opening of the 9-mile extension of the High Trestle Trail. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Dallas County Board of Supervisors officially designates August 17th, 2024 as the official opening of the 9-mile extension of the High Trestle Trail. Signed affirmatively by Brad Golightly, our chairman, by myself as a member, and Kim Chapman as a member, and attested by Julia Helm, the auditor of Dallas. So this officially makes the trail real, and I believe that there'll be a ribbon cutting now in some way and how this is going to work. So,
yes, there will be a ribbon cutting. So if you all want to make your way back to the trail and line up, and we'll get your picture taken. Give us a few seconds to set up. This sign needs to go over there. So mosey on down. Thank you so much for coming out today, and thanks for all the support of the trail.